Well, I'm excited for today's video. It's about the joy of driving my beloved Integrale, but also the general joy of driving fantastic sports cars. I'll also be giving you a garage update before then going on a drive and showing you just what this car is capable of and why I love it so much. If you're watching this video, you must be a massive car enthusiast, and like me, you probably love perusing and buying and reading car magazines. Now, I came across an app called Readly, which makes life so much simpler. I can now absorb not only the latest, but all the back issues of magazines like Evo and Autocar. And it's so easy, as you can see on the screen now, to browse to your favourite titles and just read them at your leisure. There's 3 Readly features which I think you'll also find super helpful. That's having offline content. You can simply download all this content and then read it at your will, which means you're not dependent on a connection. The other main feature is those back catalogue editions that you can get. And last is a space saving. It's just convenient to take a tablet or read the content on a phone when you're out and about. My missus now can't live without it. She's forever reading stuff about home and gardens and travel and adventure. Now, if you click on the link in the description below or the pinned comment, you will get 2 months free access to Readly and make up your own mind. Like me, you'll likely never look back. Lotus Emira, still fantastic. I drive it most days. It's really my daily vehicle. It just gets better and better every day. I've said this on countless videos. It's unbelievable how this car grabs your attention. It seems to be getting faster. It sounds better and better. It goes like stink. It gets so much attention, looks fabulous. Now, I've had my recent 1-year service. Everything went fine. It was only like £350. Fantastic. Nothing's gone wrong with the car. It is up for sale as part of my plans. You can read more about my journey with the Emira in the link below in the description. I still have the Bentley GTC. This is an absolute keeper. The missus loves it. It's the only car she'll go out in out of the stable of cars. It's incredibly comfortable. The sound system sounds mad. For more details on this car, there'll also be a link down in the description below. Had its last service in December, which was about £1,400, but there was a £5,000 bill for suspension items that needed doing, and they'll now last another 20 years or so. But as you know, these cars are cheap to now get into, but expensive to run. But what you get is a fantastic driving experience, and you feel majestic whilst doing so. The 924 Carrera GT. I've taken it to a couple of Porsche events where it gets a lot of attention, quite rightly. It's a super rare car. Again, more details down below on my 3-part journey buying this car at auction and then spending quite significant money on getting up to this level where I can now thoroughly enjoy it. Right now, my thinking is that this is the one I'm going to keep out of all of them longest, because I believe this has got the biggest potential to go up in price a lot. I'm expecting this to jump up in tranches of prices due to its special nature. I'm really surprised that these cars can be found for under 100,000, to be honest. In part 3 of my video series of this car, I'll go into detail about the kind of restoration project that happened and how much it cost to get it right. It's a bit eye-watering, but I went into it with my eyes open. I knew I was going to have to spend some significant money on it to make it a usable car. It's a car that I'm kind of generally falling in love with the looks the more I see it. It's a fabulous looking car. Quite challenging to drive, which actually makes it a bit more of an experience, ironically. My Integrale, also up for sale, would you believe it? As much as I never want to sell it. You know, I've got other plans. You can see that in the video link down below. There's lots of video links going on today. But I need to sell a few cars to get into other cars that I wish to experience before it's too late and my driving career is over. But let's take this out and I'll just show you how special this car is and what it means to me. And of all these cars here, it's probably one I regret selling the most, because this is very much an emotional car. Fantastic. How the Italians do it, I've never worked out. So let's get on with it, shall we? So here I am in the world's best ever car. Obviously it's my own personal opinion, but those who know these cars well, know them intimately inside and out, and have had them for a period of time, get to understand the nuances that you get with this car at the top end of the driving envelope. You cannot take this car out for an hour or 2 hours or half a day and really get to understand just how ridiculously special this car is. Now, because this is a car about feel, how the car makes you feel and how the car feels in on itself. So it's not so easy to put into words, because you're talking about that's something that's not tangible. It's that connection between your brain and the rest of your body. And it's that connection, those synapses that come alive when you're driving a car like this spiritedly. Now, driving along right now, it could be any hatchback that hasn't got a huge amount of sound deadening, because you kind of hear nearly everything going on. It just feels lighter, and it's not hewn together with granite, such as in any kind of German-built hatchback. But that tin canish feeling is what helps make the car feel so alive and special. Newer cars these days are too heavy, they're too over-engineered, erring on the caution of health and safety. They've got far too much weight on them, far too much structural weight, so lightness plays a part. And as you're driving along, because you feel every single thing, by definition you feel much more alive. It's much more visceral, this car, than contemporary hatchbacks. Now, what modern day hatchbacks can give you with their amazing amount of power output and torque figures is that, good straight line experience. And the thing about modern cars and modern hatchbacks, which are better suited in a comparison to this, is that they've got really slick engines, really quick gear changes, superbly engineered to allow you to drive in a straight line fast and around a bend reasonably fast, with the car somewhat saving your bacon if it goes wrong. Now, this car has ABS, but apart from that, there really isn't anything to save you apart from what's up here. Saying that, the road holding with this incredibly simple but effective rally-proven four-wheel drive system will always be beyond your talents. It's well beyond mine. It's one of those cars that when you go round a bend, and the Emira's the same, when you go round a bend you think, oh blimey, I could have done that another 3 tenths more. I was only at 7 tenths, and that I thought was the limit at that moment. And you really haven't got the bravery, except on a racetrack, to kind of tap in to those upper echelons. But 7 out of 10 gets you into the performance of this car, makes you realise how special it is. As you get to 8 and 9, you're basically in love with it, and you realise, oh yeah, I now see what all the fuss is about. What an utterly fabulous car. Now, on top of all of that, it's just that feeling of being inside and driving a fabulously rare and highly regarded car with huge ethos and pedigree. So you just get this kind of feeling oozing out of your pores, like you're doing something incredibly special. I suppose it's like going out with an incredibly attractive and active supermodel. And overlaying all that again is the fact this is an incredibly practical car. It's a 4-door hatchback, can sit 4 adults in comfort, 4.5 at a pinch, with a rear hatch for your shopping or your golf clubs. I mean, honestly, you could not make it up just how many boxes this car ticks. Now, in the right hands, this car should be able to keep up with most things. However, anybody's hands can drive a modern hatch or a modern coupe fast, such as my Emira. I confess, it's easy to drive fast because it's so darn capable with all the mechanical electricity that it's got within it. And that making you work to drive a car is the last thing on top of all the other layers that makes this car super special. To drive it requires driver input. You've got to be completely on it, and what you end up with is just a fabulous experience from start to finish. The experience for me starts when I go downstairs knowing I'm going to go to this car, and then it's magnified as I lift off my indoor car cover and reveal the car, and it takes my breath away, and it reminds me just how beautiful and stunning that it actually is. Oh my God, there's no car quite like it, no car. And then I start it up, it's got a nice burble, and then I start driving it. And then I come back, look it, turn around, look at it, and realise that this is what life is all about, these sorts of moments. Now, obviously, a lot of you will get that in your own car. It could be a Nissan Micra 1 litre L from 1986. You know, that feeling can be special to anybody. But given the other cars I've got, this car is the one that gives it most incredible feelings. I'd recommend these cars to anybody, whether it's the 8-valve, 16-valve, Evo 1 or Evo 2. They're just fabulous. They're going to go up in price. At some point, it's going to be another significant jump. Once we're through all this market turmoil, at some point in the future, these, as they get rarer and rarer, as people kill them off and they rust away, those examples that have been well looked after are going to be very much sought after. I certainly see a minimum baseline for a decent Integrale being £100,000 sterling.